Hi, welcome to another episode of AI Code Mastery in AIology. In this video, we want to create a toolbox that we can use it in day-to-day working in machine learning and AI. We want to create some Python script that we can use them during running any command in Linux or Mac or Windows. This is just a simple example. So when we are copying some of the files from one folder to another folder, maybe we just want to hear an alert or something that the task is done. So designing some sort of simple tools together can be really powerful in machine learning. Like, for example, if you want to grab a HTML page and extract some of the tags, for example, A tags, if you want to split a folder of images to 70%, 30% of holdout, we can do them just by some command line or bash script. So here in this video, I will use Linux machine. So it can be used for any other Unix-based system, the tools that we will develop. So similar thing can be applied for Windows machine and Mac, but maybe there are some details that need to be changed, but the overall process can be used the same. So I can give you an example. For example, uh, we can do something like ls in Linux and get the files in this directory, but maybe that command is taking time and we just want to get hear a sound. We want to put it for running and hear a sound and return uh, when that task is done, or hear a error sound when we have any exception and error. So that command can be any Linux or Unix command, like copying file from one place to another place, or anything else. So for doing that, I want to use Python, and then we will create all of the tools that we need. Then we will try to set it as a path directory. Then during the future project, we may use them a lot for different purposes, like for splitting data, for doing some simple stuff, like doing some OCR on some document, maybe for example, or finding the similarity of the one image to another using the embedding just by one command. So this tool can be really powerful, powered by AI. Let's start it. So the first thing I want to do is I can create an alarm.py, or maybe I'm not sure that do we have any alarm. Yeah, seems that we have an alarm, set an alarm clock for delivery signal. So I don't want to use any command that is already exists. So let's see alert. Cool. Um, I'm not sure alert exists. Yeah, in Unix, I know that when we say alert and do something, it will show a message for us. We don't want to use, we usually don't use this alert, so that is okay that if I change this to alert. And actually what we want to do is, um, this is an example that if we say alert and we have a command, so we should be able to uh, play a sound if it is successful. If it is not successful, we play an error sound. This would be, for example, alert copy something to another folder, for example. So for doing that, the first thing we want to do is we say that get the argument sys.argv, no, sys.argv, and we want to pop the first one. The reason is that when we say alert, uh, the next, the first argument would be the name of that. The second one would be the command. So that's why I think we need to first import this, and we want to get the command. The command would be the sysargv, or better say join. Yeah, the GitHub Copilot understood what I want to do. So we want to pop the first one and join the other, so we get this command. Now it's time to run that. For running that, we can use sub process. and shouldn't be import from async IO. It should import from subprocess, not anything else. So subprocess has a run command, and with that command we can pass the command, and we want to run it on shell. Yes, that's right. And also we want to check it's true. Yeah, GitHub Copilot is helping me a lot. And by checking, it means that if something happen, the exception can be raised. So I can do something like this. I don't care about the type of exception. So I can print it, exit the system. That's not the only thing we want to do. We want to alert. So for doing that, I can subprocess another thing and run. And by doing that, I want to use pplay. I think popplay. Yeah, cool. So the GitHub Copilot automatically complete this one. We don't need these two. We just want to run a process, run a sound. So if I copy and paste this, just to want to show you, uh, just want to show you here. So it just play a sound, OGA sound. So if it is not successful, we want to do the same thing, subprocess.run, and this time, yes, suspend error. So this directory already exists in the Ubuntu machine. If it is different in the in other machine, so we may come back and fix this to have supported most of the operation system. So that's it. Now we have the Python. We can run it just by calling like python alert.py, for example, ls. It said this directory doesn't exist. So actually, we wanna run it on shell. We don't want to check, but we want to run it on shell. Uh, so let's do it. Yeah. So in this case, we are doing this command. We are applying this command. Then if it is done, we are playing a sound. This is not the end. This is not good to call Python, stuff like that. I like to do this. I like to have this. So for converting this to a shell command, the first thing first we need to do is adding uh, some signature here. If you search in the Google, you will find that. So making a Python script executable and runnable from anywhere. So we need to add this. Actually, this directory exists, and we can use that. And also we can remove this .py here. So we would have just alert. And because we have written Python, the VS Code can understand implicitly that this is Python. And now if I say alert, I'm not I'm not running that because this alert is not executable. So what I need to do is I do a chmod and I say this alert is executable. And yeah, so it's getting the alert from different parts of the system. Yeah. So now without passing any Python alert.py, stuff like that, we can run this. So by copying this now inside the bin user bin, in user local bin, in user local bin here. So I have lots of things here like the AWS, stuff like that. So by copying this there, you should be able to run alert. So this way we can implement different things. This is the first thing we want to implement. Let's go to the next one. So the next thing we can do is a conversion. So usually we have like images and videos and we want to convert them, or sometimes audio. For example, we want to convert videos to audios, or we want to convert images to videos, or we want to convert videos to images. And also, uh, other than converting different type of media, maybe we have some different formats like converting MP3 to aiff, or uh, MP4 to something else. So of course we can use ffmpeg and we need to pass lots of argument to it, but we can have a Python and bash script based on that just to uh, do this kind of conversion um, efficiently without worrying about what argument we need to pass to some of them. So based on that, I think we can create a Python file called conv. And same as before, we can use this to say this is a bash script finally. And the example would be like I have I have the conv and I wanna convert, for example, file one with any format to file two to any other format. So if it is a video and we are saying we want to get audio, so it automatically get the point. If it is one video with one format, we want to convert it to another format, we can do it. We are not changing frame rate or stuff like that. We can create another tools for it if we are want to work on like videos. But yeah, let's do this. For doing that, we can use ffmpeg as I mentioned. I found a good web page here about ffmpeg that we can convert different things together. For example, transcoding from MP3 to WMA or any other formats. So one of the things we can do is just doing this. This is very simple. So like before, we can say if name is equal to main, and again we get the sys argv and we pop the 0, 1, and so here the sys argv number 0 now would be the input file, okay, and this one would be the output file. So simply we can get the format of input and output. So I can say input file dot split, and I split them, and yeah, as GitHub Copilot suggested, we can get the last one. This would be the input format, and same things for the output one. Maybe I can just write output format. Yeah, GitHub Copilot helped us. That's that's great. So like before, we want to use sub process, and again we want to use run, not coming from async. Here, the command that we want to get uh, that depends on the input and output files that we want. So therefore, I can create a function interpret command. With this interpret command, what we want to do is we get the input format, or maybe we can do this input output format inside that interpret command. So we get input file and output file, and we return a comment based on what it is input and output. So let's back to this page. So we have first example, minimal example is converting from one audio to another audio format. So what we can do is list of supported audio. So we can get MP3. What else we can get is WMA. We can get WAV file, aiff. So list of supported audio. This can also be defined general. Doesn't need to, but just for refactoring the code to looks clean. So we can say if input format in list of supported audio format. Yeah, this is the copilot. So it said this would be the command that we want to return. We want to return ffmpeg. The input is what, the output is what, output file, input file, and that would be the command. That's right. Um, this is repeated. We just want to have this one, and for else we don't want to do anything for now. So this is the first scenario. If We have .mp3 to any other format, we can convert it. What else? We can go up. So there are different things like um, converting wave to mp3, mix down to mono. So we convert to mono because number of channel is set to 1. Set bitrate to 64 kilobytes and sample rate to something else. So we don't care about these kind of things. But if we need something specific, maybe we can design it later. Currently, we just want to support different type of audio format to each other. So another thing is converting from audio, video to audio. So we have a video and we want to get the audio. This is an example. We want to have video MP4 and we want to get the MP3 format. So yeah, let's do this. This is interesting. So we can have that. So for doing that, we can say if input, before that, let's write list of supported video. So we have MP4 and lots of things by GitHub Copilot. Um, we can keep them. Maybe some of these doesn't support by FFmpeg. It mentioned here FFmpeg formats. If we write something here, it will show us what format it will be supported. That's a lot, so that's why maybe those things can be supported. But I just want to pick ones that I usually can see them. Yeah, let's skip this. And I'm not sure about MPG. Let's see if I say ffmpeg and grep MPG. So it seems it is not supported because we don't get anything after these lines. So we can remove this MPG too. What about MPEG? Yeah, we can use the MPEG or WebM. Oh, it doesn't have. Cool. So this one again. So yeah, you see that it's not supporting all of the things. This one was FLV. Yeah, we have it. And MOV, we have it. MKV. I think the MKV and the um, AVI and MP4 is famous. Yeah. MKV is something I'm not sure it is being supported. Let's remove it. Okay. So if we have an input format, oh, one of the things I forgot is that if input format is in list of supported audio, if output format is in list of supported audio, so in that case, we return this one. If input format is in list of format in list of supported video, and if output format is in list of supported audio, so it means convert video to audio. The Copilot is really cool. Here it would be convert audio to audio. So for this one, I can say command is ffmpeg I. Okay, you see that it could convert it, but instead of this one, I want to use 330. So this is means a stereo, two channel. Um, I don't know. We can keep whatever we want. And AR is not important. We can use the default one. And VN means that this is not video. This is needed. No video. So if we back here, we didn't use any AR. So we don't care about it. I think if we don't know what is AR, so we can search it. So it said audio sampling frequency, audio frequency. Okay, cool. We can use the default. And Yeah, let's back. And here, after doing that, we want to return command. Let's see what else we have in the document. ffmpeg, another thing, replace audio and a video without encoding. I don't need that. It's not that much useful. One of the other thing, as I mentioned, based on the example we've seen here, let's back. So we need to pass -f and the type. So here we need to, I think we don't need AC, but what being used here is nothing. So we need to say, yeah. And instead of doing this, I can use the fs string, so input file, output file. We don't have this, and here we will use output format. Cool. I think there is a point here that if the audio on that video is in a specific format like MP3, when we pass this, it needs to have some libraries to convert uh, that audio to a specific output format that we want. Because maybe that audio doesn't, uh, the audio format is not same as the audio format on the video is not same as the audio format that we want. So we need first separate the audio, then encode that audio to the new format. So the reason that it's just passing these libraries and by setting the codec, so just for converting some specific audio together, for example, OGG to MP3 needs this library. And that's it. So if you want to convert from video to images, so we can use this. It's that ffmpeg from video to specific images. This is cool. So we can use this. So list of supported images. Let's see what GitHub Copilot can help us. Cool. And I'm not sure is GIF supported or not. Let's see. Cool, it is. And now let's see what we can do with it. So if input format is video, but if output format is in list of supported images, it means that convert video to images. So we will have command ffmpeg from input file vf. So we have FPS with what frequency we want to convert it to video. But in that example, it doesn't have any. So it means that we don't care. Any frame rate it has, we can have it. So we don't need this. So I think based on this example that we see, we need to define something like this. So any name it has, we need to define it like this. Of course, inside this would be the an output format. But this one is just a split and get the first one. Cool. So in that case, we are getting those images. What if instead of doing that, we just put everything inside that directory like this? Because when I'm converting one video, it means that we are generating or creating 1,000 of images in that directory. That would be a mess. Um, Maybe if we put that video inside the directory, then do that. Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, I can do something like this. So in this case, we have a same folder as the name that we want. Then inside that, we will have 1, 2, 3 based on the frame rate, which is good. We can test all of this. Actually, let's test one of these. So while it is downloading, let me prepare other parts. So when we return the command, so the um, function we define here is getting the input file and output file, and we get command, and we need to do try sub process that run that command shell true, check true, exactly, exception, print, that's it. So this should work. Because this is Python, again, I can remove this .py. So now I want to use this tool. I have the conv. Just to not forget, I need to do conv. Okay. Now if I say conv, I want to convert with.mp4 to images.jpg. Non-top object is not iterable. So we should check that. See what is the problem. Let's do something else. I want to convert it to with dot. What other format we can support is MOV, for example. Okay, again, non-type object is not iterable. So we should check that. What is the problem? Oh, this shouldn't be here. Let's do that again. Okay, it doesn't work. Okay, let's do something like this. Converting. Okay, so it works here. If nothing here, we can return none. And we say if command is none, so we just say sys.exit without any text. Okay, that would be okay. But we say unsupported format. Cool. One of the things we can do here is we can print input format and output format. Let's do mp4 MOV. Okay, so let's see. mp4 and MOV both are we haven't write this yet, so let's write that too. So if the output format in list of supported video, I think we can do similar things here. Okay, let's do it. Cool. You see, we have with MOV and cool, it's playing, everything is right. So if I do something different, like instead of vid, I say images that, do we have JPEG? We have JPG, unsupported format, MP4 to JPG. So if input format in supported video and the output format in supported images, we should see this. Maybe I can do this and I remove any return just for cleaning the code. So the command would be none. Okay. And here the print command is what? Cool. So let's do that. Command is this one, return non-zero. Okay. That images.jpg, then that one. So that doesn't work, yeah. The problem is that we split it based on what? We forgot it. Let's do that again. So now we say that image return non-zero. So what we need to do is we say os.make directory. And that make directory is this one. We need to import this. So let's see again. So we have created that image directory, but nothing is in there. Okay. Return non-zero. So if we say, this is just an example. If we say something similar, like ffmpeg I with vf, but then we say images -d.jpg. At least one output file must be specified. Okay, let's back to this. Convert to images. ffmpeg I video will be. So just wondering if I remove this VF, it will work, yeah. And that VF is making problem for us. Yeah, we don't need that VF, so I should delete this. So we can say convolution JPG could not open that folder. Yeah, sounds okay. So we need we need this. So let's do that again. Yeah, so we could convert it everything to the JPEG, which is cool. Okay, good. And let's remove this folder. That worked. We want to extract only the audio. So I can say conv sound.mp3 return non-zero. Expected number for AR but found VN. Okay, my bad. So we don't need this. And let's do that again. Cool. So we have that sound. Cool. So now we can extract sound from video. What else? So we need to have, okay, let's have a comment here. Convert video to video, video to audio, video to image, convert audio to audio. Okay, let's have that audio again. Now we want to convert that audio sound to something else, like, I don't know, aiff, sound aiff. No such file or directory. Oh, my bad. It is mp3. So cool. So we have this sound. So this sound, if I run file on it, sound.aiff, it said that this is an audio aiff file, which is right. So, and if I get the size of it, so you see that it has something that my computer cannot open. So that sounds cool. So we need to delete these two. I need another argument. That argument could be what format we can have. Supported format, something like that. Def print supported format. And for this one, we want to print supported audio format, print supported video format, print supported image format. That's cool. And we want to run this. So maybe another example would be conv formats. Yeah. So in that case, if input file is equal to formats, we just print supported format and exit. That's it. So now if I say conv and formats, yeah, I will get this. Cool. So this is the second tool. Let's go to the next one. So I have pushed the changes into the GitHub repository. I will share the links. And another thing that we can work on is the difference between two directories. So it can happen that during data preparation, we will have two different data sets, but they have maybe some shared data. We don't want to have them, or just for comparison of two different folder. So I can name that to dir, difference of two directories, and very similar to what we had for previous project that we have. So we will create an example. So it's supposed to work like Very simple, diff directory directory 1 with directory 2. Okay, and I just used the previous code to get the argument, pop the first one like this one. So we don't need this. Sorry, we don't need this, and we need to import this. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to get all of the files into these directories and compare them. So basically what we want to return, it would be something like this. So this would be an example. So for doing that, we need to, first of all, get all of the files, OS, let me import it, OS list dir of that input file. I can say input dir1, input dir2. This would be files here. I can say files1, files2. Similar thing can be applied. Cool. And we want to compare these two lists. Things would be simple. We can say print anything, unique files in directory 1, and that would be exactly the GitHub Copilot is helping us. So anything in files 1 that doesn't exist in file 2, because we have defined set, we can use this kind of operation. That is one thing. What else we can do is print unique files in directory 2 and print files 2. Print shared files. And by shared files, we want to get files 1 and files 2. That's it. So again, let's remove the .py from this and also change that chmod +x to that diffdir. So in that case, we can say diffdir and we can compare directories. So for testing that, I have two directories I want to test them. Before testing that, one thing I just remember is that if these two are not directory, so we should check that. So we should check that if input dir split, yeah, that's another option. The GitHub Copilot is showing us that um, if those directory are same, so we should just say that they are same. This is one corner case. If input directory 2 contains that directory should not contain, that is not right. We said um, argument is not directory. Interesting. So GitHub Copilot is perfect in doing this kind of stuff. So I want to check two different directory I have. So if we say 3, you see that we have file 1 and 2 in directory 1 and file 2 directory, file 1 and 3 in directory 2. So if I do something like diff dir and dir1 and dir2, we will get the result. So the shared file is this file, unique file is that one. Sounds good, but I think it's better to convert them to a list. Okay, so in that case, if I do that again, so we get the list of files. So sometimes we want to use those files somewhere. I mean, it's good to save those somewhere. Um, so I just want to have another argument. So totally the parameters is none, but if we define it, we will have that. So it can be unique one, or let us say one unique files directory 1, 2 unique file directory 2, and 3 shared files. But instead of 3, I can say s. Okay. And for this one, I use this, this, and this. Cool. This is cool. So if we have 1, it means unique directory 1. And if we have 2, it means unique files in directory 2. If we say s, it means something else. So here I say if s, if param is none, or then we will have this one. Then we come here if param is none, or param is this one. So we will have this. If param is none, or param is this one. Cool. So let's see this. So if we have this, so that's working fine. If I say only shared directory, another thing I want to do is I just want to get these files, get these file names. I don't want to have these. If I pass any parameters, I already know that this is shared files or what. Maybe you think that instead of doing these things, I should use import args or stuff like that. Yeah, definitely we can. So one of the cool things with this tool we can do is we can save this file in like shared text. So if we do something like this, if we see the shared text, we are able to see this one. But if you want to pass these shared text somewhere, we can't because, for example, I have another command and I want to use the output of this and apply those. So I'm not able to do it because it's not printing on each item in the list. So that's why I need a little modification on this. I don't need this one, and also don't need these ones because this can only be used if we don't specify parameters. If we specify, so that doesn't make sense. So we say if param is none, that's okay, you can print this. Again, if param is none, yeah, you can print this. And if param is none, you can print this. So in this case, if I say dash dash s, that would be great. So I can save it in like shared text. And here I will have everything. So it's good to define a function here, def print files. So we get files and print them simply. And here we say print files. For this one again, we say print files. And for this one also we say print files. Cool. So now if I do that again, yeah, that sounds right. So if I say, what was the name? Share the text. So in this case, I'm able to apply anything on each line. So if I do something like this, so unique files, we don't have any in directory 2 we have. Cool. So we have done this. We can do this one, and this is another cool thing that we have built together. I will delete these two directory and I will push this one. Hopefully we can use them soon. Okay, the next tool that we want to implement is OCR. I think it's good to have a command like OCR, and then we apply it on any image or PDF and we extract whole text. Maybe we can add some options for getting like words or convert it to CSV. Then we will have some other tools for parsing CSV. So yeah, let's do it. So for this purpose, I'm creating ocr.py, and like other module we have created, we copy and paste this one. So as I mentioned, an example would be OCR file.png and some argument like maybe I can say type, and the type is, for example, it can be, let, let me write this way. So type can be, it can be all. Yeah, word and all is good because we can get based on words or we can get all of the text. Or maybe for now we can just remove this part and we only have one file and get everything from it, and then we decide how we want to do that. But that depends on the document. If document is unstructured, it's not like a whole text document, so we need to know what line or block is that text related to. So having this, I think, is enough. So like other module we have implemented, we are going to import it. Maybe our parser, uh, something that we can use. We just need to copy and paste. So we have arc parser here, and the program name is OCR. It apply OCR on image PDF. These two are enough. Then we will have options. We want to add argument. So it's mentioned here, by default, argument parser objects are using sysargv to determine how to display the name of the program in the message. This default is almost always desirable because it will make the help message match how program was invoked on the command line. So for example, consider name myprogram.py with the following code. So if we do this and we say parse args, the help for this program will display myprogram.py as a program name. So if we use dash dash help, so if we use arg parser, so we have the help. So what we can do, we can use this kind of add argument and add things to it. So we can say parser that add argument, and add, as I said, what we want to do is we want to get a file to apply OCR exactly. Another thing we want to get is the type of the OCR, and type of OCR, it could be word or all. I think we need a default value, and default is always all unless we say we want a word. That's it. Yeah, there is another thing, language. We suppose that everything is English, but if it is not English, so we can have it. GitHub Copilot is helping us. What else? And yeah, this would be cool. So if we can see the output somewhere, so this is another option. So we can say output, go to the output dot text. I can say output OCR dot text. See, we need to say parser dot parse argument. Now we have all of the arguments. So what we want to do is we want to use tesseract for this one. Maybe in the future we can add a method way here, but this is enough for us. So for tesseract, let me search tesseract git. So they have install tesseract page. So we need to install these two. So let me install these two. Okay, and let me install this one. Cool. We can have base name, the PSM, stuff like that. We will work on this to make it happen. So basic usage of OCR is we can just say tesseract myscan and give the output. Or to do the same with German, so we can pass German with both of them. So there are HOCR mode that return in HTML file, or maybe we can get it in the pandas format. So you can also create a searchable PDF directly from Tesseract. So that would be cool. So PDF, it can output a PDF file, but as input, I don't think the file of input, the result will be combined in a single for each output file format. Okay, so the input file should be image format, and it said most of image format readable by Liptonic are supported. Cool. These are all of the list of argument that we can pass to the Tesseract. Of course, the Jupyter GitHub Copilot can also help us for finding these things. So we can say subprocess, and we say run. Cool. So it said run, and argument that we can pass is the file, then the output, and -L for the language, and type. Type would be Word and all, but I think it doesn't support this one that we say Word or all. I don't think so. Yeah, so this is not correct, but other parts I think so far is right. So that PSM will show what way we want to do the Tesseract, and OEM showing the method, LSTM or the legacy way of Tesseract. Let's see which one of these PSM is good for us. So in this way we can say PSM if args type is Word exactly, the PSM would be, I think number 12 is good. Elif args is all. It's at PSM 6. Assume a single uniform block of text. That's good, yes. Actually, I want to do this. The GitHub Copilot is amazing. So the next thing is adding this PSM there, just to be sure that this is a string. We pass it as a string. And OEM is 1. We are doing the original Tesseract only. I think the default is also good. I don't want to touch that. So what else? So actually we want to run it on shell. So the shell true and also the check is true. Yes. And we have a try catch on top of this. Any exception as E, print E and exit. Cool. So I need to import this. One thing we need to be sure about it is that PSM is default none, and if PSM is none, we need to sys.exit. Okay, that's it. Let me change this chmod ocr.py, and also I change this to ocr. Okay, so now if I say ocr and I have an image, let me bring an image. So we have this PNG here. This is an image that we have. So we want to apply OCR net. So what we can do is we say OCR on one.png, and that's it. So it's that namespace object is not subscribable. Args type doesn't exist. When we say args, we should be able to see the variable here. So we can say arg.type. Yeah, like here, arg.file. Cool. Let's see. So if I say OCR, if I say OCR and that PNG, so it's that namespace object is not subscript. Oh, again, we have this one. I should say that type. Okay, let's do that again. Async IO. As I said, we need to import subprocess, not from async IO. And there is a tab nanny check. I don't need it. I don't know why this is there. Okay. So If we do that, it's showing us this. Let's see what errors we got. So it's a tesseract, single option, command return non-zero status. Okay, now let's go back here and instead of doing this, because I'm not good in, um, let's get one of the command that we are sure can work. So we can say tesseract. So the input file, the output file. Let, let's do this for now. Tesseract. We can create f string. We get, I think we need to pass something like dash dash input, or we can also say dash I. Okay. In this way, we can get the input file. So if we do that, we can say args dot input, and then we have output. So we have args dot output, and we will have dash L and args dot lang, and about the type, we need to say dash dash psm. Cool. So let's do this. So it said unrecognized argument. Yeah. So because we need to say input. Okay, invalid resolution, but we have the text here. So we got 1024 and GPU. Okay. So it seems it's working, but we need to fix it. First of all, it's the output doesn't need to have any that text because it's already in text. If I say type is word, so if I say type is word, so I have this, I get them in word, but there are not much information in there, so it isn't good. Maybe I can work on it a little bit. HOCR, let's see, I think it should be HOCR all small, like the block and everything. So we have output OCR.HOCR. Cool. Let's see what it is look like. So it said, for example, OCR word 11, the bounding box, the confidence of that. And what is that word? Yeah, this one. Then this one. Let's see the image again, just to compare fair one.png. So you see, this is one block. I think we will have lots of these. Then we have all. Those lines are separator lines, I think are detected as uh, 1, which is not right. So we have 2 again, 1, 3. We should have another 1 after here. And this is the problem of OCR, not problem of us, because they are closed. It assumes that when we have a sequence of number, because of the CTC loss, it assume all of this is number. But we want to make it a little easier for us to be used. So what we can do? So there are ways that we can convert this to the data frame and CSV and save those information in CSV from HOCR. I don't think that HOCR is something interesting for us to see in that manner. So I think inside the PyTesseract, they have some sort of wrapper that get the HOCR and convert it to the dictionary that we want. So they have image to data and they get the output type as data frame. This is cool. So actually we can use this instead of applying the tesseract. Maybe we can use this. And by the way, before I forget, So we need these two library, one, this one, and another is this one, to be installed. And if you want to use PyTesseract instead of doing this Tesseract, we are able to, and I think we need to, because in the future we will use pandas, so it would be one of the requirements that we want to install all of these tools. So one thing I can do, let's do it. For now, I want to pip install PyTesseract. That's it. So here we import PyTesseract, and the only thing we need to say is PyTesseract. We need to load that image also. That's another matter. So since I didn't want to put time for parsing that HOC or XML, so I thought that maybe go back to the PyTesseract. We search it together. And what I've done is that instead of that command, now we can use this one. So we can pass again the PSM and anything else, but we can get the dictionary and we can convert the dictionary to a CSV file. And we have to use Pillow library or OpenCV Python. So basically, if you now write something like this, type all or type word, so we should get the output in the CSV format. So this is in CSV format. You'll see the text, confidence, height, any information that we need for that document, and which is good. And I haven't tried that if I say all. Okay, if I say all, so it's again give us this structure, which is cool, but it's not separating some of these. So when we say word, we are more sparse. So good. This is 90% done. The only part remained is this if statement that we want to say if the input type is in PDF format, we want to convert that PDF to image, then have that image. So for doing that, let's see what option do we have. Convert PDF to image. What is important here is DPI. So there are some cool libraries that can convert that for us. So we can say from PDF to image, import convert from pass, convert from bytes. We want to convert from pass, and this is easy. But about what is the DPI of this conversion? Okay, cool. We can pass the DPI to this function. So, which is cool. 200 is the which is good for us, I think. We can in the future come and fix it if it is not. So I'm going to install it. And because we are now installing different things, we need to create a setup.py and we will work on that part too. So based on the documentation here, we only need to say import this, and we don't need this part. We just need convert from pass. So if it is PDF, we convert from args input. Interesting that the Copilot is understanding what is the, yeah, interesting. So it converted to PNG, convert from pass, image from pass. Image will be a list of peel representing each page of the PDF. Cool. So we should try that. We will try it on one document. So this would be images, or better say peel images. And is there any option that we don't save it? Yeah, there are some options to just get the first page or last page. Yeah, I think if I don't pass output folder and this type, that should be okay. So we get pill image, and by pill image, yeah, that's one thing that we have. multiple images, so in that case, images would be exactly this one. We should import numpy from np, numpy as np, and this way we are just getting a first page. So if it is multiple page, we need to do something else. Or I'm not sure about it, but maybe if it is an image, so that can be done once. So if it is image, we can do this here. Let's give it back. Okay, so I can create a function, I guess. That's better. So in that function, we can say apply OCR on image, and we get image. Okay, and we return we can say save OCR results from image. That would be better. So if we do that, we can copy and paste everything, put it here, and here we will get image. We also pass args because we need that args. And the PSM. Actually, I don't want to pass anything again because it's not clean. So we have args, we have output, and the thing is we can add that args to PSM. I mean, add PSM to the args. So we can say args.psm is PSM. So that in that case we can just pass args and image, and everything should be okay. And there is a point here. So we say images, and here we say for image in peel images, we have this, and we append it to the images. Okay. In this case, this should also be something like this. Then at the end we say images in images, and that's it. So now it should work for the previous command, you see. And let's try PDF. So now I can say tool.pdf, and type is all for now. Let's see. Okay, we have output OCR. You see, this is converted, which is really cool. And I should say also based on Word. Again, it get updated. We can also pass output, and for output, I just want to add another argument that if it is -o is also output. So if we say -o out do tool.csv, we don't need to pass that, so we can say out. So we should see out, and that's it. So the command works for different kind of OCR. I just want to remove these PNGs and text. I will push that to the GitHub. So currently we have OCR, diff directory, converting file, and alert. If you want to update these ones based on the argument, feel free to have a pull request. Thank you.